Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Honor to him, the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened One. My utmost respect to the perfectly enlightened Samma Sambuddha, the noble doctrine of the Buddha, and the noble Mahasangha, the disciples of the Buddha. Hello everyone, good morning. Today on Friday's Dhamma reflection, at the Empty Cloud Monastery, I would like to share with you Majjhima Nikaya 142nd Sutta. We call it Dakkhina Vibhanga Sutta. This sutta is about dana. A lot of people talk about dana. They are very enthusiastic about dana, and there are many versions of dana. So maybe when we were having also some discussions with the tea, I thought this is a good sutta to have some reflection in the morning. So we can also practice this dana. This is called Dakkhina Vibhanga Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 142. And in this sutta, Buddha talks about 14 individual danas and 13 returns of the dana, and again 7 types of people that we offer dana, all different, like this dana thing. I think when it comes to this dana, Buddhism, not only this thing, in this sutta, in many other suttas, that we find so many lists in Buddhism. So Buddhism is never in short of lists. So here we go. We have a few more lists for your vocabulary, for you to learn. I think one way of learning about this list, it was because of the monks those days, they had to learn the Dhamma by heart. That was the issue. So they had to learn Dhamma by heart, teachings by heart. So when we have a lot of some lists like 1 to 5, 1 to 7, so we have a lot of 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and 13, 21, 28, like that. Many lists are there in Buddhism. So that is why we get so many lists in the Buddhist teachings. Let's see how we can reflect on this sutta. This is Dakkhina Vibhanga Sutta. In the sutta background, actually, there is a story about how Mahapajapati Gautami, when she entered the order, the Buddha visited Kapilavatthu and the Shakya clan. They all got together and they offered the temple to the Buddha. That was called Nigrodharama. So this Nigrodharama, or this temple, the Kapilavatthu, the banyan tree monastery, when the monks were, Buddha was living there one time, when Venerable Mahapajapati Gautami, the senior most bhikkhuni, in the Bhikkhuni Sangha. So she approached the Blessed One, bowed to him, and sat to one side and offered the robe. She said, I prepared it all by myself. I want to offer it to the Blessed One. And the Buddha said, Gautami, give it to the Mahasangha. And she was not happy with that. She wanted to give it to the Buddha. So she tried again, second time. The Buddha said, Gautami, give it to the Buddha. When you give it to the Mahasangha. When you give it to the Mahasangha, I will also be included. Don't worry. Give it to the Mahasangha. And so it happened several times. And then Venerable Ananda also intervened. Um, Venerable Ananda was trying to convince the Buddha, the Blessed One, why don't you accept it? So, because uh, Mahapajapati Gautami has started to follow the Dhamma, how she was so dedicated to practice the Dhamma, um, practicing those precepts, getting rid of killing and stealing, sexual misconduct, telling lies, and drinks and drugs, alcoholic drinks and drugs, and all these things she has avoided herself because of the Blessed One, out of respect for the Blessed One. And the Buddha said, yes, if someone does that, he or she would never be able to actually return just by paying respect or doing this and that, because so much is the power of that practice that they have sought to. So it is so wonderful, of course, but it cannot be matched with the teacher's gift. So having said that, the Blessed One said there are 14 individual dhanas. 14 individual dhanas. One gives a dana to the realized one, that is the Blessed One, the perfectly enlightened one. One gives a dana to um, the Pacceka Buddha. So first one is the Samma Sambuddha, the second one is the Pacceka Buddha. The third one is the Arhantas. And the fourth one is someone who practicing to realize the fruit of perfection, that is the Arahanta Magga and Arahanta Phala. There are two different versions actually. And then Anagami Magga, Anagami Phala. One who gives a dana to a non-returner, Anagami Magga person. Anagami Phala person. And Anagami Magga person. So there are two. One gives a dana to someone practicing to realize the fruit of non-return. So Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahanta, there are Magga and Phala. Two subtle variations are there. So already there are 8 persons in this dana list. And then one gives a dana that is, one gives a dana to someone practicing who wants to be free from sensual desires. He is not necessarily an Arya Puggala. So these earlier persons, the Samma Sambuddha, the Pacceka Buddha, and also the other 8 people that we mentioned, they are so wonderful. They can be called as Arya Puggalas, noble people. The others are yet to attain that status. So they are not really Arya Puggalas. So, but still, there are some people who want to get rid of these sensual desires, and if you offer dhan to such people, and an ordinary person who has good ethical conduct, that's also a wonderful way to practice the dana. And then even if you give someone with some bad ethical conduct, that also an ordinary person with bad ethical conduct, but still it can be considered the dana. Even to an animal, that is number 14. Even to an animal, if you offer something, that can be a dana. Of course, the result can be different, but there are these 14 individual danas according to the sutta. And then it is said the returns would be like if you offer something to even an animal, the power of this return can be impacted like 100 times. And even to an unethical ordinary person, if you offer something, it can be impacted in 1,000 times. And to an ethical ordinary person, it can be 100,000 times. To an outsider free of sensual desire, again this outsider means the unarya person, yet to attain the magga phalas. So even to such people, such person, if you offer something, this person is free of sensual desire, not completely, but yet that person can. That person is on the way to the Magapala. So it is millions of times um, more powerful when you offer something to such person. So the gift to someone practicing to realize the fruit of stream entry may be expected to yield incalculable, immeasurable returns. So this is the thing, like when you offer something to someone like Sotapanna Magga person, Sotapanna Phala person, Sakadagami Magga person, Sakadagami Phala person, Anagami Magga person, Anagami Phala person, Arahanta Magga person, Arahanta Phala person, and then even Pacheka Buddha, the individual Buddha, and Samma Sambuddha. If you offer something to them, the the result, the return would be immeasurable and incalculable. This is the sutta, the returns that the sutta mentioned about. So there are many other ways that we can consider when offer something to the Mahasangha. So those are the individual danas. And when we say Sangha, it is the community. So there are 7 types of community or Sangha danas. One gives a dana to the communities of both monks and nuns, headed by the Buddha. So for this, there should be the Buddha himself. So when the Buddha is living, and also there are bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, all of them together, if you can offer something, that will be the best dana that someone can. So if someone is lucky enough to offer something like that, that will be very very powerful merit. And after the Buddha's passing away, if someone gives a dana to both the bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, that's again another sangha dana. And if someone gives a dana to only the monks, that is number 3, dana number 3. If someone gives dana to the bhikkhunis only, that is number 4. And when someone gives a dana, okay, appoint this many monks and nuns for me from the sangha. Like I don't have enough space in my home, I would like to invite 5 bhikkhus and 5 bhikkhunis, like that. If you can appoint the number of mahasangha, bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, this is another dana. And then appoint these monks for me from the sangha. So you can say, I want this many monks, I want this many nuns. So these are the 7 different types of dana that one can do to the Sangha. Remember, this is to the Sangha. Earlier ones, the 13 danas, that was for the individuals. 14 danas for the individuals. And then we also need to remember um, there are 4 ways of purifying the dana. This is another list. So 4 ways of purifying the dana. So when you give a dana to someone, um, the the giver the giver is purified. Like you are a very pious and very wonderful person with really good pure heart. You offer something to these individuals or to these communities, and then because of the givers purification, this dana, not necessarily the recipient. They might not be really following the ethical code, or they are not really very ethical, or they are not really pure in their conduct. Even then, if the giver is purified, that dana can be purified. And the other case is like the giver is not pure, but the recipient is very, very pure. So in that way also the dana can be pure. And there is a case number 3, both of them are not pure. Neither the giver nor the recipient are pure. In that case, the dana is not really pure then. And the other one is the dana can be purified by both the giver and the recipient. So the person who offers dana, they also follows the 5 precepts or 8 precepts or good ethical conduct, and then the practitioner should definitely also follow a good ethical conduct, and that is the best dana out of the 4. And then there are why is it called the first one? For example, there is the dana that is purified by the giver, not the recipient. It is when the giver is ethical, of good character, but the recipient is unethical, of bad character. And similarly, when there is a dana that is purified by the recipient, not the giver, it is when the giver is unethical, of bad character, but the recipient is ethical, of good character. And there is a dana that is purified by neither the giver nor the recipient. That is when both the giver and the recipient are unethical, of bad character. And there is a dana that is purified by both the giver and the recipient. It is when both the giver and the recipient are ethical, of good character. So this is how the sutta talks about. Dakhina Vibhanga Sutta Majjhima Nikaya 142nd talks about the dana. So at the end of the sutta, there are very beautiful poems, 5 poems. It is a kind of summary of how important to be ethical when we offer something to someone. Yo silava dussile sudadati danang dhammena laddhang supasanna chitto abhisaddhang kamma phalang ularang sa dakhina dayako visujjati. So dayaka is the one who offers, and the dayaka can be visujjati means purified. When an ethical person with trusting heart gives a proper dana to unethical persons, trusting in the ample fruit of deeds, that offering is purified by the giver. Your silava, the one who is ethical, already sila. We always talk about the importance of sila. Dussila is the opposite. The person, the recipient is dussila. The giver, the dayaka, is silava. So in that case, the dana can still be purified because he gives the dana with supasanna chitta, with pure heart. Then abhisaddahang kamma phalang ularang, he has the confidence in the ularang is great kamma phala, the fruit of the kamma. He knows, he is confident of the great great effect of this karma, fruit of this karma that can be generated by practicing dakkhina. Dakkhina also means giving something, dana. The second one, yo dussilo silavante sudadati danang abhidam adhammena laddhang appasanna chitto anabhisaddahang kamma phalang ularang sa dakhina patighahako visujjati. Yo dussilo. Now the dayaka is dussila. Silavanta, the recipient is silava, virtuous. Dadati danang, if someone gives dana to such people. Adhammena laddhang. So the dhammena laddhang means you earn the money or you earn something with righteous ways. But here adhammena laddhang, you earn this money or whatever through unrighteous ways. And then appasanna chitta, this person also doesn't have necessarily very pure heart. He is not pasanna chitta. He is not even, he or she can be appasanna chitta, not really happy or not really purified in the heart. Anabhisaddahang kamma palang ularang, and also does not believe in the power of the kamma that is generated through this um, dana. Still, there are some people who offer dana. We have seen some people like that. So they also offer dana, not really, just do it for the sake of it, or just they have to do it, maybe with the social something. People will feel bad otherwise if you don't do it. There are people like that, and they also offer dana without much confidence. Still, the recipient are very pure in their sila, then the dana can still be, dakshina can still be pure. The third one is the worst category here. Yo dussilo dussile sudadati danang adhammen laddhang appasanna chitto anabhisaddahang kamma palang ularang natang danang vipula palang tibrumi. When an unethical and untrusting person gives an improper dana to unethical persons, not trusting in the ample fruit of deeds, I declare that gift is not very fruitful. That is also dana, but then it is not very fruitful, the Buddha says. So both sides are not virtuous, not ethical, and Dayaka also does not believe in the Kamma, or he doesn't have pure heart, or he or she doesn't have the confidence, and both of them are not really pure. In that case, the power of this dana can be much more less effective. And then the fourth one is the most the beautiful so far. Yo silava silavante sudadati danang dhammena laddhang supasanna chitto abhisaddahang kamma phalang ularang tangve danang vipula phalang tibrumi. When an ethical person with trusting heart gives a proper dana to ethical persons, trusting in the ample fruit of deeds, I declare that gift is abundantly fruitful. This dana is abundantly fruitful. Vipula phala means great benefit, great fruit is there. So now both sides are very pure in their heart, and the dana that you whatever dana that you prepared also was done by the righteous means. and then you have very happy, pure heart, and also you believe in the power of this great karma, and both sides are very pure in their conduct. If that kind of a dana happens, then the power of the karma is much, much more abundant. And the last one, yo vitarago vitarage sudadati danam dhammena laddhang supasanna chitto abhisaddhang kamma phalang ularang tangve danang amisadana mahakang tibune. But when a passionless one gives to the passionless a proper dana with trusting heart, trusting in the ample fruit of deeds, that's truly the best of material gifts. So over here, vitaraga person means there is no passion, no lust, no defilement, nothing in that person. Completely abandon all cankers, all defilement. Such a person, if such a person offers a dana, they can also offer a dana. And then that person also offers a dana to vitaraga person again. Another vitaraga person means another arahanta person. And then dhammena laddhang, that dana also is offered with the things earned through the righteous ways. Supasanna chitto, very pure heart, with very pure heart. Abhisaddhang kamma phalang ularang, there is the power of this dana, uh, definitely knows the power of this dana that can be generated through this. And such a dana is amisa danang aggam. That means it is the topmost among all amisa dana. Amisa dana is the material dana that one can offer to someone. It can be chivara pindapata senasana gilana pacheda. Can be any of these danas, like maybe the robe, maybe the food, maybe the residence like the kuti, or even the medicinal requirements. All these can be amisa dana. So something related to that can be amisa dana. If someone who is already arahant and that arahanta person is offering a dana to another arahanta person, that is definitely the best of the best. Okay, so now I have a question for you. If the Buddha gives a dana to Venerable Sariputta, and now there are two. One, Buddha gives a dana to Venerable Sariputta, and the other, Venerable Sariputta gives a dana to the Buddha. Which one is more powerful?
I don't know what the purpose of either one would be.
No, just assume. This is just an assumption, because here we learned which one, like over here, Vitaraga person is offering something to Vitaraga person.
What I'm saying is that the Arahant does not need good karma. What is the purpose
See,
of the Dhamma?
It's not like why the Arahanta person bowing to the Buddha? Why the Arahanta person also helping the other people? They can do that too. They are not doing it to generate any karma or expecting anything in return. They can also do something. Why do they do it? They do it because that's an example to everyone else. That's as an example to everyone. Why do Buddha help other people? Does he want to get some merit?
With the Buddha, I understand it because it's such deep bodhicitta intention.
It's not the case. He already has completely eradicated all forms of karma, defilement. Then why does he do that too? Same thing with any other arahant. Yeah?
Because he's a perfect bodhisattva, but the Arahant makes less sense.
No. When it comes to defilement, Arahanta and Buddha, they have completely eradicated all forms of defilement. In that case, they are similar. The power, the enlightened, perfectly enlightened one has more power, sure. But when it comes to the defilement, all both are same. There is nothing remain in both of them. And so my question, if there is a dana that is offered by Venerable Sariputta to the Buddha, and Buddha is offering a dana to Venerable Sariputta, what is the better one? What dana is more powerful?
I think I would say, yeah, following what I heard now, I would say they both are the fourth case.
Bota,
There is,
Vitaraga.
so too few people doing that, so I don't see the difference. I don't know.
There is a difference. Difference is the Buddha's dana. The Buddha gives dana with utmost, deepest, profoundest realization of everything about the dana. Buddha also practiced dana parami, dana upaparami, dana paramartha parami. Dana paramita in 3 different ways he has practiced, fulfilled. Therefore, the dana offered by the Buddha to Venerable Sariputta is more powerful. As Buddha as the Dayaka. That is the that is a question actually um, posted by many monks when they ask about the dana.
I have a question, Bhante, and that is that in Christianity, in our culture, when you give something,
You don't
the best
expect.
way to give is not to wait for anything in return. Just giving and then giving without anyone knowing. So what your right hand does, your left hand doesn't know.
Yeah.
So I how that goes with what we have heard now.
Yeah, like if you expect something, the problem is you will gain, but your samsara will be longer. That is the thing. There is a case. There were 2 brothers. Okay, these 2 brothers were sugarcane farmers. And one day, Pacheka Buddha came to them, and they both offered the dana to Pacheka Buddha. One brother offered the dana, with the power of this, may I be able to get rid of this samsara. That was his intention. And the other one, by offering, he thought, by the power of this, may I gain lots and lots of good things in my life. I be very rich person, very healthy person, all kinds of things he had, aspirations. So both of them offered, and they were also actually getting a lot of good, generated a lot of good karma, yes. But the first one, he attained Nibbana very soon. The other one was staying in the samsara for a long time. Of course, he got a lot of good benefits, but then the samsara was longer. Yeah. Eventually, expecting anything is not the idea.
And giving in secret, it is the dana.
Hmm?
If you give something in secret, it is dana.
Definitely. Yeah. You don't have to advertise it. Yeah. With your pure heart, you offer something that makes so much sense. But there are some people in the world, like many people in the world, they like something in return. They like some benefit, right? They like some certificate. They like something benefit all the time, right? Otherwise, they don't want to. So I think just to encourage, okay, if you offer this dana, these are the good karma that you can generate. So it can be helpful to you. The thing is, you start giving, and once you start giving, later on you realize, oh, these expectations is nothing. That is not important. So eventually that person realizes expecting is not important. At the beginning, maybe, just like, um, the same thing happened one time when Anatha Pindika, he had a son. So he said to his son, if you go to the temple every day, I will give you one gold coin. So he kind of mm, stimulated, give a kind of stimulus to the son. If you go to the temple every day, listen to Dhamma, and I'll give you one gold coin. So he only was thinking of the gold coin. He went to the temple, and then he started listening to Dhamma. And so every day he went and he listened to Dhamma. And the more you went, the more gold you got. Yes. But then the Dhamma that he learned in due course was so powerful that he thought, wow, what have I been doing all these things, days, expecting some money. But now I know why my father said that I should go to the temple. And he was so ashamed of himself, and he didn't want anything anymore. So sometimes you have to stimulate people with such what do you call, white lies, or I don't know what do you call it. So some tricks can be manipulated to help your children or help other people. That is why sometimes these things happen. Okay, right? Do we have any other question?
I have a question, Bhante.
Yeah.
Can you please address the importance of panya, or wisdom, with giving and giving in dana? For example, some people, we talked about this yesterday, some people might give and they see it as, oh, giving, this is an important thing, but they're giving maybe in the wrong way. Maybe they're giving uh, support to somebody that might use it in the wrong way, or, oh, I'm giving to somebody that may take this and use this inappropriately. The importance of seeing the power of the dana.
Yeah.
And
So-
balancing dana with panya.
So when you offer a dana, there are three occasions that we have to be careful. One, the prior to the dana, we call it Pubbha Chetana. Let's say like you want to offer a dana next month, or maybe you have a birthday coming up or something. Okay. So on that day you want to offer a dana. Now you are planning from now onwards. So from now onwards, you are thinking how many monks or where to give this dana to, whatever, and then you keep thinking, you are planning. Many things are happening during this time in your life, like morning, evening, you are thinking, planning, talking with your family, friends. I know all this happens, like when we were at the temple. So many people call us several times to ask about that. They even visit the temple many times to plan this thing. So we can feel how important is that event to them. So all throughout those time, they have a very good pure heart. So you have to maintain that pure heart during this time, not generating lobha, greed, not generating dosa, anger, not generating moha, that is ignorance. That is important. So during the time, now everything is done. I'm just giving an example only. Everything is done, prepared, just food dana, let's say meal dana. Someone is bringing the dana to the temple, monastery, and they offer. During that time also, you have to be extremely, extremely careful, because our mind is so fragile. Our mind is so fragile, it can go wrong anytime. If you get angry, if you get upset, if you regret, anything can happen. Like maybe looking at the monks or looking at the people, or you somehow get upset, you get frustrated. I have done so much hard work, and look what happens. And somebody was late to open the gate or something. Simple things could happen, and then they get upset. So that is why they have to be extremely, extremely careful during that time as well. Mm. So most important thing, I think, you have to be quiet. That will be the best thing. Like you observe noble silence. That will be the best thing. As much as you can. At the monastery, at the temple, when you bring a dana, make sure everyone is quiet. That will be so helpful to the donor and also to everyone else to generate a good karma. And then this is called munchana karma. Then later, apara chetana, sorry, munchana chetana. The apara chetana is after giving the dana. Also in retrospection, you can look into this beautiful karma that you did. You can be happy. The more you think of it, or the more you share that with the others, you also can inspire them, or you can also be so happy. Oh, I could give this dana. I did so much good work, and I am so happy. You can actually get that way. You can definitely gain a lot of panya. That is the one way of practicing the dana with your pure heart. Maintaining your purity is really, really important. So the power of the karma can be multiplied for sure, but expecting and not expecting is up to your level of samsara, your level of understanding. Yes. Does it make sense? Okay, we have Dhamma learner. Good morning, Bhante. Glad to see you this morning. Always show a smile. Oh, peaceful presence. Okay, thank you, Dhamma learner. We have Sud. He's donating something to the Sangha with the intention of sharing merits of such dana with the other people in your life. Could that be seen as expecting something in return? You see, when you offer a dana, uh, and you have the intention to invoke blessings upon other people, if you think that is also an expecting something in return, expecting something, of course, you want to offer, like you want to share the merits with the others, but that does not generate any greed, anger, or delusion in you. Right?
It's the opposite.
Yeah, so that is important. Otherwise, you can't do anything. Like you can't even practice paramitas because you are expecting, like, I want to become Buddha. I want to be, people fulfill. You don't have any motivation, nothing at all in that case. So it is important that you need to always think of the unwholesome roots. Raga dosa moha or loba dosa moha. Are you generating these things by practicing this? Now, when you offer the dana with the pure intention that you want to help your departed ones, or you want to invoke blessings upon your mother, your living mother, or your living father, or someone who is sick, you want to generate a good karma and invoke blessings upon that person. So much wonderful, wholesome, good karma that would be. That is not expecting something wrong in return. In fact, you are giving more to other people to benefit other people. That is so much good. So another question, anonymous. When offering dana, is it more powerful not to dedicate the merit to another being? I think if you, like, let's say, like you have an oil lamp, one oil lamp on your hand, and then there are more lamps that you want to actually light, you can use the same lamp, and the hundreds and thousands of lamps can be, oil lamps can be uh, operated, illuminated, what do you call it?
Illuminated.
Illuminated, right? And so there is nothing losing from one lamp. Actually, maybe some oil from the other lamps can fall into your lamp. That can be even more brighter and um, more illuminating. Uh, so in that case, so much the better if you dedicate your merit to someone else. So much the better, especially if you think of some departed ones. That can be very, very helpful. That is really, really important. Even there can be many other people in your life that you don't even know. There are some other people, there are other sentient beings, you maybe they are not even related to you. You can still help them so much. This is really important again. Yeah. Okay. Jibak Chakmas, Bhante, tell us how dana generate panya or wisdom. Yes, how dana generates panya or wisdom. In fact, dana is such a wonderful, wonderful, good karma that can generate so many powerful karmas. You can eliminate, you can abandon very powerful defilements effectively. When you offer something, you actually offer something to the best of your ability. You want to give the best thing you have to someone. Okay, best food, whatever you give. When you give someone to something to someone, you do it with pure heart, and you do the best with the best of ability. And that way you directly attack the attachment, you directly attack the desires. This is, a lot of people like to keep things for themselves. Now here you are actually donating, you are letting things go, right? So that's an amazingly powerful karma that you do, and that generates definitely panya. And then when you offer something, you also fight with jealousy, fights with anger, fights with ill will, fights with all the defilements, many defilements. You fight against when you offer a dana. It's so hard. It's so hard. If you ask someone, okay, can you give me this one? Like, they will say no. They will not really like to do it. But the one who practices doing it, the one who is used to offer dana, they can really enjoy the power of giving. So those people who are used to give things, they really enjoy, they know the value of it. And remember, when you actually give things, you will also never be in short of good friends. You will be, it is said like, it is better you give uh, a dana or something with many people around too. That is why in our tradition, sometimes when you offer something, even a Buddha puja, you want other people to touch it before offering. Why do they do it? Because you don't want to do it alone. You don't want to be selfish. You want others also to share the merit. That's such a wonderful, wholesome thought. So if you do it with a team, a group, the power of the karma even um, more powerful, more intense. Suma Shreyas, knowing Dhamma but not practicing, how to convince. Um, yeah, I think there are some people, you try to, okay, do this thing, and they don't want to do it. I think the best way, you don't even try to convince your children. Just do it. You just do it, and they will observe it. Sometimes I've noticed, like, the parents say, like little kids, when they come to the temple, they try to keep the palms of the children like this, and they don't want the children to run here and there. I think it's not required to do so, because the children are very smart, much smarter than we think. They always observe us. They observe the parents, they observe the elderly people, what they do. They are very smart. They know when they want to get something, they know how to get it. So they are not stupid. They really observe whatever we do. I remember, like, when we were little, we were also observing our grandparents. We were observing our parents, how they do, how they offer flowers to the Buddha, how they chant, how they pay respect to the monks. We knew that. We saw that. And so we don't have to convince, do it, you know, you will naturally follow it. In Abhidhamma, there are two words like asankarika and sasankarika. Asankarika. Sasankarika means, okay, the parents ask the child to offer flower to the Buddha. Okay, just an example. So the because of the parent, the child does that with a good intention, yes, but led by the parent. So that is called sasankarika. Later on, the child learns himself, and he does all by himself without led by anyone. That becomes an asankarika karma. So asankarika kusala chitta, wholesome um, chitta can be generated that way. So we all can just patiently practice our own generosity, and I guarantee many other people would be so happy to see that, and there will be a lot of people inspired by your practice of generosity. Please don't worry about and don't even really regret, oh, my children or my friends or my relatives, they are not following the way I do. It's not required. Because we all have separate samsaric journeys, right? So yeah, you just practice and they will follow when the time is right.
I would just say too, Bhante, I think that people do learn from seeing, and also tell people to reflect on their own minds when they practice wholesome, when their mind is following kusala. What does their mind feel like when they're practicing unwholesome deeds? Ask them to reflect what their mind looks like. And people naturally are drawn, the mind's more peaceful practicing wholesome deeds. When people are drawn to that, people are drawn to practicing the Dhamma because it gives a coolness to the mind. If people reflect upon that.
Yeah, there are some people actually, like if you say something, my friend, you do it, and they might listen. But there are some people, they might not listen. So don't try if that is the case. But there are some good friends. Let's go together. Let's go meditate together.
Yes.
Then your friends might listen to you, and then someone, oh, I don't care. I have some other things to do, and that doesn't work. Don't worry, it's okay. And let's see, like, how you yourself become a great example when you deal with these people. You are very kind, you are very nice, you are very patient. All these things might generate some inspiration in them. Oh, my mother, father, or whosoever now, after doing this retreat, they are acting more maturely, right? Oh, how did you learn that to be so, like, not panic, and you are amazing? How do you do that? They might ask you, and they might inspire. Yeah, we can do that. Same thing with the dana. We can inspire them by just practicing. If possible, good friends can be, of course. Um, you, I think the friends are the best people to convince other people. So if you can convince your friends, they might definitely follow you. Or the children, when they are little, it is also very easy. It is difficult when they are younger or matured. It is difficult to convince. But that is why I think in traditional Buddhist countries, all the children go to Dhamma school, Sunday Dhamma school, so they know things. They are more familiar with the monks and they are familiar with the practices. It's easier for them, even if they become doctors, engineers, they already have those memories in the past, photographic memories in the past, so it's easier for them. Other people, if they are lucky, yes, like some of you, you turn to Buddhism later on, you're lucky. All right.
I have one question.
Yes.
I don't know. I understand this sutta is speaking only about material things, material giving things. That generosity must be also practiced, just giving your time,
Hmm.
or even practicing metta. No.
Yeah,
also done,
this sutta does not talk about material things only.
okay.
Again, dana is giving. It is not only giving money or giving food or giving clothes or giving, like you said, you can just hold your umbrella to help others. You can just give a helping hand to a blind person to cross the street. You can just do something out of your heart. This can be anything. Giving can be service, giving can be volunteering. Many ways you can give. Yes, you can give knowledge, you can give wisdom. You might not have money, but you have a good heart, pure heart. You can volunteer, right? All these things can be a gift, a dana.
Yeah, you see that around the monastery. Like they'll come and
Yeah.
beautify the grounds. They'll plant flowers. Almost all the ground. The
I know.
statue. Yeah.
Like there is one lady who comes here. She offered her hair. She had a long hair. She offered her hair, and like a lot of people offer blood. They can volunteer help in many community centers or churches, monasteries, and those are also really powerful practice of dana. Yeah. Okay. All right. With that, we close today, and thank you everyone for joining us with the morning, Friday morning Dhamma talk here. And may you all be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever you are. May the Noble Triple Gem bless you, help you, protect you, and guide you towards the right path. We'll see you with the monk chat today evening by 7:30 p.m. May you all be well, happy, healthy, safe. Abhivadana silis nichang madha pachayino chattaro dhamma vadhanti ayuvagno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.